In the far north, when the sun slipped away and left a soft, rosy hush in the sky, the Arctic twilight glowed like a gentle coin of light. A cozy polar bear, a gentle penguin, and a wise seal shared a little ice shelf that flickered with warm candle-like glow. The snow around them felt like a soft blanket, and the air smelled faintly of pine and sea. The world grew quiet and sleepy, and the night began to hum with calm, patient breath. They listened with wide, wondering eyes, waiting for a lullaby to visit them, a lullaby to carry them toward dreamland. The bear curled his big, comforting paw around the penguin, and the seal drew his tail around them both, making a circle of warm, snug friendship. They settled together, noses almost touching, in a circle that glowed with a soft, warm light from the ice beneath their feet. The breeze was a quiet whisper, and the stars in the sky flickered like tiny lanterns, bright and peaceful. They breathed in slowly, and their breathing matched the slow, steady rhythm of the sea far away. In that circle, the three friends felt safe, held by the quiet of the world and the promise of sleep. Then the wise seal spoke, and his voice came softly, like a tide whispering against smooth stones. It sounded like a lullaby learned from the moon and the long, slow breaths of the ocean. Tonight the sea sings us to sleep, he said, and the words drifted over the ice like gentle feathers. The penguin listened with a tilt of his head, and the polar bear closed his big, kind eyes. A hush fell over the little shelf, and the sound of crackling ice blended with a soft, musical sigh. The lullaby began as a faint melody, almost a whisper, a soft murmur that warmed the heart and calmed the thoughts. From the north, a glow drifted down the northern lights, lowering themselves toward the ice like a velvet curtain. They swirled into a doorway of shimmering color, a doorway that opened to a peaceful corridor of light. The lullaby grew brighter and warmer. It felt as if the air itself grew softer, lighter, more comfortable to the touch. A tiny music box, carved from ice and studded with stars, rested on the ice near the three friends. When the lid opened, It released gentle notes that sounded like wind chimes and distant bells, yet never loud, only kind and comforting. The notes wrapped around them like a warm shawl, and the night brightened with a dreamy glow. The music was gentle, and the glow was gentle, and everything about the moment seemed to move in slow, soothing circles. Each note held a color blue for calm seas, green for soft pine, lavender for quiet skies. The lullaby guided them along a quiet, silver path across the snow. They walked slowly, step by step, listening as the music guided their hearts to rest. The world around them turned into a meadow of snowfall, each flake a tiny feather landing on a warm, quiet breeze. They felt the soft, dependable rhythm of the lullaby in their bones, and in the glow of the ice beneath their feet. They heard the wind sigh a little, and the sigh sounded like a lullaby too, whispering gentle, peaceful words that only sleep could translate. Together they discovered a gentle gift hidden in the song, a soft, glowing lantern tucked under a snow drift, and a small star chime perched on a nearby ice shelf. The lantern offered a warm, forgiving light that kept the friends company as the night grew deeper. The star chime hummed a delicate lullaby of its own, a quiet melody that made the air feel velvet soft and dream friendly. The seal whispered that listening was a way to carry calm inside, a way to tuck the day away and keep the heart bright for the night. The penguin nuzzled closer to his friends, and the polar bear wrapped his warm fur around them, making a larger, softer blanket of comfort. They gathered the gentle sounds into their breath, letting each inhale say, softly, "I am safe." Each exhale answered with a quiet, peaceful, dream-filled sigh. The Arctic twilight deepened into a velvet blue, and the world took on an even softer hue. The sea's breath became a steady, quiet rhythm. Snowflakes drifted down like pale feathers and settled on noses, ears, and whiskers, turning to tiny sparkles that gleamed against the warm glow. The bear's big paws pressed a little closer to the penguin. The penguin's wings tucked snugly at his sides, and the seal's wise eyes closed in contentment, listening to the soft, repetitive music of the night. The wind stirred the ice ever so gently, and it sounded like a soft, distant lullaby played by invisible hands. They did not fear the dark, they welcomed it, for the darkness carried them toward restful sleep, and the sleep carried them toward bright, quiet dreams. As the lullaby's glow settled into their bones, the three friends settled more deeply, a gentle, drifting trio on a blanket of snow. The world slowed to a calm, peaceful pace, and every sound became softer, every crackle, every sigh, every whisper of wind. The stars twinkled as if they too were yawning, and the ice hummed a soft, warm tone that wrapped around the little group like a comfortable scarf. They listened, and they listened, letting the lullaby fill each corner of their minds with quiet, dreamy light. The night held them tenderly, a quiet guardian of sleep, a soft, endless lullaby. And then, as the last note drifted away, the cozy polar bear, the gentle penguin, and the wise seal drifted into a deep, peaceful hush, their breaths slow, and even their bodies relaxed and warm, their minds quiet and calm, their hearts resting in the soft glow of the Arctic night, deeply asleep.